bosses, okay, so the vast majority of estate agents are one-man bands. Where do you think the biggest weaknesses are with those bosses of those agencies?
I suppose long term, it's their ability to actually separate themselves from the business. I mean, that's a whole different conversation probably, but from a business perspective, you know, their brand, their business is them as an individual, and how do they manage to scale it? Now, some choose not to. Some are very happy running a small business and being a local business person and running highly effectively, and that's their choice. That's fine. The problems start when they start to scale, and the business has been heavily dependent on them as an individual, and the people that they then recruit don't have the same incentive, aren't of the same stock as they are, and that's where it goes awry.
What do you think they could do differently to be better? I mean, if the results are pretty mediocre, and they're not in the top three, or they're just not the finger on the pulse, do you think they step up? They lack accountability to their business? Because you ask many valuers, the last time their boss went out with them on a valuation was years ago.
Yeah, absolutely extraordinary. I find this is one of the things which I've been banging on about. I mean, I think I may have mentioned to you before. Some years ago, I used to live in Wimbledon Village. I rented my house at the time to Roger Federer.
As you do.
As one does. And I didn't know it was going to be to him. I was contacted by a sports organisation, would I rent my house out, and they made me an offer I couldn't refuse. Anyway, the point is, Federer won that year, and it was before he had kids, and so he was accompanied by his wife. But the other 3 bedrooms in the house, all 3 of them were occupied by coaches. And when I came back, and I said to Fatima, who used to tidy up our house for us and stuff, and she was working for him during that period. I said, what was he like? She said, oh, he was lovely, really charming mouse. Okay, well, what did he do? She said he watched videos all day long. And I said, really? What sort of videos? She said, tennis videos. I said, oh. She said, of himself. And he would go and have practice sessions, right, if he wasn't playing in a match. And then he would come back with his coaches to review the videos, the practice sessions. Now, this is the world's #1. You could argue the best tennis player of all time, certainly one of. Travelling with 3 coaches, right, all around the world at any point in time, living under the same roof with these people, and spending his entire time seeking to improve. Now, you don't have to necessarily take it to Federer level, but most agents are so far off the scale by comparison, where they don't review their key moments.
They don't coach or train themselves.
No, they don't. And you know, we're very lucky. We get to work with. We've got just shy of 100 members. We've got 98 members of the Property Academy,
who are the best of the best.
Some are. Most they all aspire to be, and we're working with them to make them. Some of them are exceptional firms and some exceptional individuals. And what I love working with those sorts of people is they wanting to raise the bar the whole time. Yeah, they just want to improve and improve and improve. And so, working with people like that, they do have processes. We put them in place. We help them to put them in place for continuous assessment and continuous measurement, to make sure that they've got a repeatable system which allows them to deliver a consistency of service. So the best agents just do, as I said earlier, they do the ordinary things extraordinarily well. Okay?
And you say the basis of that is damn good systems.
I think it is. I think, look, there's a people, of course, it's a people business, and people are really crucial to it. But the trouble with just relying on individuals, the sort of rock star of estate agents, as it were, is that they have off days, they have holidays, and they get busy. So
and people leave.
And people leave, and all the above. So the key is, I think, is to have a systemised process. Look, #1 service provider in the world. You've never spoken to a single person ever at this organisation, and yet you and every single one of your your viewers, every single one of them has transacted with this organisation, and it's called Amazon, right? And not one single person that has ever said to me, "Oh yes, I've dealt with somebody from Amazon." There's no individual to deal with. You can't call them, right? You can't. In fact, I don't know if they still have it, but they used to have. If your complaint wasn't resolved properly, their complaints department to handle the complaints that weren't rectified. The email address used to be, boy, am I hard to please at Amazon.com. Now, I don't know if they still have that, but the point I'm making is that has got to be the ultimate business from the perspective of systems and processes, and delivering a consistent brilliant service
A lot of
across the
people,
world.
because a lot of people are worried that if you go too systemised, you become robotic.
Yeah,
How
yeah.
do you systemise something yet still retain the personal feel?
Well, I actually have written about this week in my coaching tip to our members, and the example I use is connected with the state agency, although they're not estate agents, and it's Moneypenny, the telephone answering service.
Wonderful people.
Well, there you are. Now, it's a wonderful service delivered by wonderful people, but I made the point that if you take let's just take two people connected in that company with property. So you've got Sam Jones and you've got Joe Tatum, all right? Now, they both deliver to the Moneypenny brands. The service is extraordinarily good. But Sam and Joe...
You can't even, when you ring an agent, you can't even spot that they're not the agent.
Well,
they're that good.
They are exceptionally good. But the point is, Sam and Joe, as individuals, have their own personality. And they layer their own personality on top, right, of the service. But what you don't get is a variation of the service levels, right? Those are consistent.
That's the foundation.
Absolutely. And then you can't, I don't want some sort of one size fits all type of personality in a state agency. The diversity is one of the great things about it. Our clients are massively diverse in terms of all of their situations and backgrounds and experiences. So, but what is important is to have systems in place where things get done, and one of the key things that people, back to this liking and trust, and trustability, if that's the word, likability and trust that consumers tell us is so important, is actually about delivery on your promises. If you're going to call someone, right, call them. If you're going to give them a report every week on the progress of their sale or their let, give them a report on it. And if you rely on individuals to do this, and you don't have standards, and you don't have service standards, then I'm afraid what you end up with all too often is a massive variation.
But why do you...